Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So today we are playing some Overlords. So this is a strategy which used to be quite a big deal in Pioneer, kind of based on the standard version of the deck. Less so now, but we do have a couple of new toys to play with. So we are going to see if we can do something with it now. So this is only a 60 card version, so we're not running Yorion, but we instead have 2 copies of Yuna, Hope of Spira, which is a new legendary creature from Final Fantasy, 3/5 for 5. During your turn, it and enchantment creatures you control have Trample, Lifelink, and Ward 2, so it's kind of got that style effect, but only during our turn. And at the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. So in this deck, bringing back an Overlord straight away gets around the impending clause if we can bring it back from the graveyard. And yeah, you just get a lot of value off it straight away. Potentially, it's quite well protected during my turn or when you have Yuna on the battlefield. Yeah, it's just a neat little interaction that could potentially bring back some pretty powerful enchantments. Obviously, it's not just the Overlords. You can do it from a leyline binding if the opponent's dealt with that, or an up the beanstalk, whatever it may be. So yeah, a couple of copies of that just to see what kind of punch it can add to a deck like this. If we do have Overlords in the graveyard because the opponent's killed them, or we've just ended up there another way, then yeah, having this is potentially pretty powerful. We are also running 4 copies of Zur, so we do have the kind of primary game plan of just playing the Overlords and then turning them into creatures using Zur's activated ability. But we do have the other option as well. We've got another new card, 1 copy of Summon Primal Odin, which is one of the Saga creatures. So this is 6 mana, so it's relatively expensive, but it does destroy a creature when it enters. Then the second chapter is a fun one, where essentially it gains, if this deals combat damage to a player, that turn, that player loses the game, and then you draw some cards afterwards. So it's got some pretty powerful effects on it. Again, potentially bring that back and recur it with Yuna once it's gone away. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, being a Beanstalk deck gives us some additional cards. Then we got some early interaction with Vanishing Verse, Fatal Push, March of Otherworldly Light, and then the ability to just flicker a fate our Overlords if we so choose to. So yeah, pretty simple. As I say, just a 60 card version, 4 colours. So we'll have to be slightly mindful of our mana. Because of that, we've got a fair number of the tri-lands, which Standard doesn't have anymore, so that kind of gives this advantage over that deck. Plus Cavern of Souls for avatars most of the time. Some dual lands, and then a couple of basic lands as well. Not really bothering with any utility lands in this deck, just because we need to, we reliably need to hit so many different colours. Sideboard, a couple of High Noons, 3 copies of Rest in Peace. Obviously a bit of a non-bow with Yuna, so that's worth bearing in mind if we are bringing in Rest in Peace. Nowhere to Run, Heritage Reclamation, good versatile removal. Knockout Blow is a good answer to mono red, and I do wonder whether the mono red standard players might suddenly be appearing in Pioneer now that all of their favourite cards got banned. Elish Norn doubles up the triggers of the ETB triggers of our Overlords, but also shuts down the opponents, and then 2 Thought Distortions as anti-control as well. So yeah, that is the deck. It's been a while since I've seen an Overlords deck floating around, or played one. So yeah, looking forward to this one. A couple of interesting new cards to try out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and let's take it on to the ladder. Ooh, this is super awkward in terms of the mana. I think I've got to ship this one, unfortunately. This is slightly better. Yeah, I think it's a keep, even though it's not like the best hand anyone's ever seen. But with the option of potentially Flood Pits into Flicker of Fate, gives this a little more resilience, I think. So yeah, the opponent hasn't had the quickest start, fortunately. So if we pop that on Avatar, we can start doing Overlord things. Yeah, we can ditch the Temple Garden here. Start impending. Ooh, summon Primal Odins. Potentially quite good fun. So I'll fire off another Overlord. Gives us some creatures at least. Then we might want to flicker it later. Okay, that's A-okay. Wonder what the opponent's got going on here. So this is a knight. So yeah, let's make that uncounterable potentially on a future turn. Then suspect we will... Oh God, I've got a very itchy nose all of a sudden. Yeah. Then I suspect we will fire off the Overlord on its impending, and then just hold up the Flicker of Fate. So yeah, we'll play that. Give ourselves an Everywhere. And hopefully the opponent might play a creature. You know, if they are running something like Nifta Light, they might play an Omnath that we can then destroy with the Primal Odin. Oh no, they're also playing Avast. Cool. Okay, well that gives us something to destroy anyway. So having said I don't really see Overlords very often, then obviously the first match we run into is indeed that particular deck. So let's do some Overlord shenanigans. Then yeah, we'll shock this in so that we have Fatal Push available to us. Play the Primal Odin. That basically puts pressure on our opponent to sweep the board immediately or lose. Yeah, it's been a pretty spicy game one for us. No, fair enough. Yeah, they didn't have a huge number of options there, I don't think. So in terms of something of a mirror match, I think requires Elish Norn and then Heritage Reclamation, obviously. I think Fatal Push becomes quite bad in this matchup. So really, so does I suppose March of Otherworldly Light is an answer to Beanstalk, so maybe I'll keep that in. Maybe just trim one of our Mistmore's Overlords on the draw. It's hard to remember what the actual mana cost of these is, because the arena moves them to their hard cast mana cost. But yeah, that looks about right for a game on the draw. But we definitely had the better of them in that first game. Yeah, 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 this will do just fine, I think. Potential turn for Elishnorn. Cool. Well, got a good target for... Oh, no. Now what do I want to do? I think we play our own Beanstalk here. That's the upside is high. As much as it would be nice. Okay. So they're getting rid of ours. So, do I just want to Overlord here and kind of get on with it? I think probably. Because, yeah, then we could potentially Elishnorn next turn. Yeah, that feels like the right move. And we'll see if they have an answer to Elishnorn. Okay, definitely a decent result for us. So, attack. So we can play Beanstalk, which will draw us 2 cards. Then let's follow it up with another Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So we get 2 everywheres out of that. Yeah, pass the turn. Got a lot of mana now. Like, Yorion doesn't do anything for them while I've got Elishnorn on the battlefield. Horror. Excellent. Okay, very, very good mirror match there. Yep, this will do. So, Zagoth Triome plus Temple Garden would potentially be a turn 2 Leyline Binding. Whoa there. It's all happening. Fortunately, Kithian, he did. Hopefully shuts off their Mox Amber for just a moment. Okay, not that long. And a Copper Coat. Okay. Beanstalk or Leyline Binding. I feel like Beanstalk's the higher upside play. Three Cavern of Souls. Just well, I'm not trying to counter anything, really, isn't it? Ooh, and a Thalia. Okay, that's pretty spicy. Well, let's take down their Kellen now. Before they potentially turn it into something even worse. Okay, now we've got some options. So could Vanishing Verse Thalia this turn and just call it a day? I think that's fine. Let's do that. Okay, they've slowed down a bit, which is good. So yeah, I think this is a Zer animated, because my life total's a little dodgy right now, so I think let's animate Leyline Binding, try and gain some life. Because they can't play anything except creatures right now. Cool, okay, well that gets me out of the danger zone in terms of my life total. Sure thing. It's quite sus. So they do have an Iganjo. Okie doke. Well, that stops me gaining life. March. Interesting. There's a lot happening here, isn't there? Let's... Beanstalk. I think we can just march away the Coppercoat Vanguard. I wish I had anything in my graveyard that Yuna could bring back, but I don't. So this is Boros Legends, maybe? Could be Mardu. Zakfair will grow their Lieutenant. So they're going to attack me for 3 here, which is fine. Then yeah, maybe it's Yuna into bringing back... Oh no, I can't bring back Leyline Binding, it's that styled. Damn it. Wish they'd stop doing that. Who's main decking Declaration in Stone these days? Nobody. Great, Fatal Push is a great draw. So let's get Kellen off the battlefield before they can use him to potentially start drawing cards. They can protect him with Zakfair, but I think that's fine if they get rid of Zakfair. It's going to be a bit of a close one, to be honest, because This Overlord of the Flood Pits is going to draw us plenty of cards, but then what do we do after that? We might have to just chump it away to the Kellen if it survives. Okay, they did not want to lose their Zac Fair, which I think is good news for us. So let's draw lots of cards. I think we can just ditch a land here. Well, let's see what we draw. If we draw another removal spell, that's slightly different, I suppose. But I don't have a million life. And that is worth bearing in mind. Yep, let's just ditch Cavern. Made Temple Garden. And then we'll pass the turn again. The opponent is here, but they literally have no decision points, so I don't know what's taking them so long. So, Overlord being... So, yeah, we could have potentially quite an explosive turn next turn, depending on what they do. I mean, I think we should probably block if they attack. Because my life total is not hugely secure. And they've got multiple ways of protecting it. Well, only the one, actually, because this only targets legendary creatures. I don't know what's up with them. So yeah, that's Leyline Bind. Then we'd probably Yuna attack, get the 5 life. If they kill it, I'll just bring it back again. Seems a pretty decent interaction. But I don't think they're coming back. We've had a lot of very salty opponents recently. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something about early in the rank, early in the month. We didn't quite get to do Yuna things that game, which is a shame. I was hoping that that would be a thing. Okay, Kamano faces Kakazan. Slightly awkward with all of our shock lands, but I think it's probably worth it, because they'll almost certainly play a creature here. And indeed they did. My psychic powers know no limit. I think I'm fine to take a hit off that. No attempt to pump it is interesting. Okay, Manifold Mouse just by itself is not that interesting, so don't want to get rid of the etchings or the mouse. Let's just get rid of the etchings for now. Then I've got binding next turn, and then a Mistmoors, which seems pretty reasonable. So yeah, if they give that double strike, that's okay, and then I'll take 2 and see what they do. No monstrous rage. Fine. Okay, Sunspine Lynx will do me 3 damage, but that can go under a leyline binding. Then I'll play Overlord of the Mistmoors. I don't have a million life. Presumably I'm about to get monstrous raged here. Oh, pretends to be shocked.gif. Have they got 2? Yeah, alright, fair enough. Well, you can have that one. Yeah, here come all the mono red players. Okay, so knockout blow is obviously good here. So is nowhere to run. Some of the top end can come out, I think, so let's get rid of Overlord of the Flood Pits, trim 1 Flicker of Fate, and go from there. It's a shame we didn't draw any of our kind of life gain enablers there, because like 1 Xur and that game's over. Yep. Good hand for what we're playing against. Okay. I'll just play a Hollowed Fountain tapped. Temple Garden, I think, is fine. We can hold the Triome just in case we want to discard it later. Another Emberheart Challenger. Okay. Let's knockout blow this one. We'll get ourselves an Overlord of the Mistmoors. And this game rather should be over pretty quickly. They might have a Nemesis here. Yeah, okay. I'll ignore that for 1 turn. We'll pass with nowhere to run and Fatal Push. It's nowhere to run. Sunspine Lynx, sure thing. That'll bot me for a fair amount of damage, but yeah, I'm going to follow it up with So I can't gain life while that's on the battlefield, so just gonna have to wait for something to die, basically, before I can fatal push it. Yeah, interestingly played by our opponent. Yeah, okay, so let's bring our Mistmoors to life. So it's now 7/7. I think we're fine just holding that back as a blocker, and then let's play Overlord of the Hauntwoods for its impending cost. Attack with my flying McGubbins. Well, another Sunspine Lynx could be a real problem for me here, to be honest. Okay, well at least it's not that. Yeah, let's animate our Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Okay, so got 5 in the air. Let's play Beanstalk. So if I attack with all, what are they holding in their hand? Or am I just going to play it safe and assume they can't kill me? If they had Sunspine Lynx last turn, they'd have used it, so... You know, let's assume the best. Okay, another Bone Crusher, so basically they need to draw Sunspine off the top. I've got lethal in the air. Okay. Fine. So let's animate our Beanstalk and our Nowhere to Run. Cool. Excellent. Yep. Played the odds there. Worked out pretty well. But Sunspine Lynx was a problem that we didn't have an answer for it. Our Fatal Push we couldn't force into being online. So let's take out the other Flicker of Fate, pop in a High Noon, and run it back. Yep, I see Vanishing Verses, I keep. I'm a simple beast. Okay, Manifold Mouse, at least, is a creature we can kill. Do I want to do it now? They won't have any way of protecting, I don't think. Okay, well they got the God Draw, so Let's vanish the mouse. I'm going to get hit for 5 here. Okay, well, more removal is good. So yeah, go ahead, opponent. Okay, let's leyline the Screaming Nemesis. Okay, no Monstrous Rage. Yeah, am I going to try and risk drawing a land here? Seems super duper risky, but yeah, I think I've just got to chill, unfortunately, and let them go again. There. No, okay, fair enough. They had the perfect draw. Couldn't do much about that. Yep, this'll do. Potential flickering of Hauntwoods is pretty good. So at the moment, I need this to cast Zur, the Cavern of Souls, so I need to stick it on a human for the time being, but let's see. Interesting. What's our opponent got going on? Okay, well, now we can stick it on Avatar, because we're just going to get it everywhere off our Overlord. Our opponent has not had a quick start, which is good news for us. Okay, Angels, sure thing. So let's vanish the Valkyrie right now. Play Zur. Oh, I can't. Okay. Yeah, no, that was my mistake. Forgot the Cavern of Souls was not doing much for us here. Right, let's Flicker of Fate our Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Give ourselves another everywhere. Play Zur. So much value from our lands. Okay, so they are running the Selesnya package. Let's get rid of the Resplendent Angel. Wow. Alright. Cycle Zagos Triome. Okay, Leyline Binding's pretty good. Another land. Almost so many everywheres. Everywhere, everywhere, all at once. I think that's right. Opponent. See what I mean? This one's got away and sulked as well. I'm going to be... Oh no, they're back. Okay, Cycle Spar as headquarters. So they're probably holding a collected company by the look of it. Which is fine, I think, while I have Leyline Binding in hand. And a Beanstalk. Okay, that's pretty spicy stuff. And a Vanishing Verse. Okay, it's all beginning to look reasonably okay now. So yeah, attack. 2 removal spells available for whatever they company in. But they might get some life off it, depending on what it is they find. Oh no, I'm so surprised. Okay, that's not the worst. Yep, go ahead. They got another company? That would be fun. And by fun, I mean horrifying. Nice. Okay, let's get Summon Primal Odin down. Blow up Giada. They get a 1-1 out of it, which is fine. Send Overlord back into the fray. Cool, okay. I'll vanish the Frost Dragon Cave, kill their other 2 creatures. Cool. Yeah, someone Primal Odin twice there doing some work. Where have you been? That's what I want to know. Okay, so Angels is an interesting matchup, I think. We definitely did okay that first game, so I want nowhere to run. Do I want Elish Norn as well? Yeah, let's put that in. Take out Flicker of... Well... let's take out a Flood Pits and a Yuna on the draw. Because Flood Pits at least keeping some in because it does have flying. But yeah, I think went okay. Yeah, 2 fatal pushes, no way of casting them is potentially a problem, but I still think this hand is a keep, because if I draw any black land, then... If I draw any black land, then I'm in the Tree City, sure. Okay, thank you kindly. Ooh, Archon's an annoyance. Makes my non-basic lands come into play tapped as well. Can't push it, but I could march it, but that would require losing my Overlord of the Mistmoors, which I think is fine. So yeah, let's do that. 3 Overlord, get rid of that. Shock in a Watery Grave. Okay, that worked out pretty well, because I can now push this particular angel. Stick that on Avatar. Get an Overlord of the Hauntwoods into play. Then I am kind of out of stuff to do, so, you know, have at it. Okay, they're not really doing anything. That's good news. So I think I'll just pass with my Flicker of Fate available to me. The Wind Crystal. Oof. Don't see that every day. Your wind is no more. Consider yourself winded. Okay. That could be worse. I don't want to push one of these. Probably should while I have the chance. Yuck. Land! Too much land. So yeah, let's just play another Overlord. I'll hold the Cavern just in case I draw like Mistmoors, which lets me discard. Not again! You know what, I'm not losing any life anytime soon. More land. Well, I do need something that isn't land. I've drawn a lot of it. Gotta have something else. Bah. Bah. Yeah, that'll probably do it. No, oh. All right. Fine. I get the point. Yeah, you never say no to Beanstalk into Hauntwoods. Only a fool ever would. Turn 2, turn 3, and then just see what we draw. We can potentially flicker it later. The thing is with flickering Hauntwoods is at this point, Against this deck, I'd much rather be flickering the Overlord of the Mistmoors. Okay, Vanishing Verse good. Trey good. I think that's going to have to go. Yeah, this is the problem. I don't want to be. I want to be flickering. Where? Stop! Enough with the land. Oh, that's collected company then, isn't it? Fine. Let's stick this on human. Plays We'll fire up our Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I'm not going to attack. You've got collected company. I know your game. I've seen this done before. Okay, let's bind the Righteous Valkyrie in response. Oh look, land. That's fun. Please don't gain any more life. Thank you. Oh, they did. Damn. Well, thanks. Where were you 100 turns ago? This is pretty rough. Yeah, not sure what we're supposed to do about this. Let's march away the 8/8. Well, I can't really. No, this is over. Ah, that's really annoying. If I hadn't flooded out so badly there, I think I would have won. Yeah, no, flooded out those last two games. Can't be helped. So yeah, we didn't get to see much of what Yuna was capable of there, mainly because I never actually cast it. But the Primal Odin certainly proved its weight a little bit. Certainly a very terrifying card, reads very powerfully. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, is it better than Zur? Zur is just a bit more efficient, turns the stuff while it's on the battlefield rather than having to worry about waiting till the end of turn. So it's an interesting idea, adds a little bit of extra kind of punch to the deck potentially, although, as I say, we never actually got around to casting one. But yeah, interesting Overlords deck. Fun to play, a little bit unlucky at that last match. I feel like we could have won that with a slightly fairer wind and better draws, but that's the way it goes. So yeah. Here's the deck list one more time, in the description as usual. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe, and contribute to the coffee account, do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.